G'day viewers. So here we are in another lockdown. In Victoria they announced last night from midnight we were going to have a snap 5-day lockdown. Great. So anyway, gives me the opportunity to get onto my video that I said I would do quite a while back now about the accessories that I've done to the V Strom. So there she is there with everything on it. Now I made myself a list, so if you can bear with me, I'm going to refer to my list and just work my way through it. So there's the list, and the first thing on it is the battery charger. So when I bought the bike, it actually came with this port already on it. I guess a clever thing by the dealer where they put it on, and they sell the charger, so I guess you don't have to buy it, but they sort of push for it, I guess, in that sense. So what I've done is gone ahead and bought the Optimate 4, which is right here. Great charger, I must say. It's supposed to test and maintain the battery. Now I don't ride this bike that often. Well, I don't ride either often. So when one's not being ridden, it's being charged. The bird is under there, and that's got its own charger as well. So that's the first thing on the list. And that runs, that's actually connected straight to the battery, negative and positive, through a fuse as well. That's the fuse there. Next on the list is the Givi airflow screen. Now this is brilliant for the V Strom, because as anyone familiar with the V Strom, it gets a lot of buffeting. Some say it's from the stock screen, some say a bit of it comes from the mirrors, but I found putting this on got rid of that pretty much. You know, you get a little bit, but nothing too bad. Now you can see that I've got it on the highest setting, so you can actually, via these, sorry about these lights, I hope they're not shining too bright. These, I don't know what you call them, clips or retainers, or you lock it in and you can loosen it, and you can actually do that while you're riding if it's not too tight. I think I've got this one a little bit tight. You can just adjust it through that bolt there. But you can adjust it so it slides down to that, if you can imagine, while you're riding, or that, and that actually comes right off too, so when you're cleaning you can clean everything without a problem. Now I find that on the V Strom you're actually protected quite a bit, especially with this windscreen. So I actually ride with my visor up most of the time on the V Strom, because you don't get a lot of ventilation. So when I don't need it up, I actually ride most of the time with it down like that. Keeping in mind that this top bit, that's the problem I had with the stock windscreen, that the top of the windscreen was right in my line of vision, which was very annoying, more annoying than looking through the windscreen. And that's another thing too. I'm a short rider, so I actually, even down like that, I'm looking through the windscreen all the time. So it's not great when it's raining, or when your windscreen gets really dirty, bugs and stuff like that. Now you can see this windscreen's got quite a lot of scratches on it. I actually bought this one second hand. I happened to find it second hand. I was tossing up whether to spend the money on a windscreen like this, because I think they're about the $400-500 mark, and for something that you're not sure is going to work, that's a lot of money. But I was lucky to find this one for less than half price, second hand, still pretty good condition. But now I'm confident. Once this one needs replacing, definitely will buy another one. It's brilliant. Definitely recommend it. Alright, so next on the list, driving lights. So I found these driving lights on eBay. They're about 30-40 bucks. Pretty good, they do the job. I mainly use them for a visual thing to be seen a bit easier on the road, so you're a bit brighter. I don't really ride at night, so I don't know if they make that much difference in terms of making the road a lot brighter for you. Now these, they both, the wires run through the fairing here into a connection down here. They run under the tank into a unit. There's a unit just here, and it has a like a flasher unit on it as well. So, and that runs to the battery as well. So I've actually got that connected to a cut-off switch here. So if I forget to turn them off, this will turn them off once the battery gets to, I think it's 12.8 volts, and then there's a 15-second delay and it cuts off. That light means it's actually working, so that if I turn the lights on now, they will turn on. When that light turns off, it means the voltage has gone down, and that cuts off the lights. So that's, so if we can follow the wires, there's a negative that comes out from the bottom, connected to the negative side of the battery. The actual lights are connected to this side, and the battery is connected to this side through a fuse. So it detects the voltage on the battery, and then this switch cuts off the lights. I think this switch is actually made for an auxiliary battery, but I did ask. This comes from Kick-Ass, and I think they're called Australian distributors or something. I can't remember, but really good. I asked them the question, can I use it for this purpose? They said yes. You can connect more than one accessory to it, but I've only got my lights connected to it at the moment. So that works really well. Now the lights also do have a switch themselves. Okay. The problem with this switch, it doesn't indicate with a light or anything like that that you've actually got the lights on. So you've got to remember, if you've turned the bike off and they cut off via the switch, then you've got to remember to turn them back on. So sometimes I find that I can't remember if I forgot them on or not. So I've got to actually go down and sort of see. Sometimes I use my boot to see if they're shining, which is a pain in the butt. And I've tried to look for other switches with lights and stuff like that, but I'm just dealing with this at the moment. When you turn them on as well, like if that switch stayed down, you could actually tell if it was on or not, but it stays in the up position. And there's also a mode switch, which I don't really use. Got different flashing modes, which I'll show you. The lights, you have to leave the button pressed and the lights will turn on. There you go. So that's what they look like. Now, flashing mode 1. Not sure why you would use that. Pull someone over maybe. But yeah, that's not really useful, I guess. This one, I guess, is like a hazard lights. The V Strom does have a hazard flasher. I could use that in conjunction with the flasher, I guess. And then there's another one, which is a quicker flash. Again, not sure why you would use those. If anyone can enlighten me on that, I don't know, maybe in other countries they use it. And then another click, and you go back to the solid on. So to turn them off, you just one press. So that's the driving lights. Also with the driving lights, they actually came with a cover. The cover was too bulky for where I wanted to put the lights on the V Strom, and the bracket that came with it, it wasn't a great system for this bike, or the way I've got it set up anyway. So I bought these brackets. They work really well. Got the rubber protection, so you're not scratching the crash bars or wherever you might put them on. And just clean look, I think, without the cage around it. And they're behind, if you do drop the bike, they're behind the bars, so the lights are protected. I guess it's only an issue if you buy expensive lights. These, 20, 30, 40 bucks, it doesn't really matter. You just buy another pair. Alright, so moving on, we've got the radiator guard. This is another eBay item. Found this quite cheap as well, about $60, $70. Does the job, doesn't rattle. A little bit fiddly to put on. You got to take sort of fairings off, and you have to put them in to the side. Well, you actually can't really see that, but you got to put it in behind the fairings there. So it is a little bit fiddly, but yeah, definitely doable. Okay, so that's the radiator guard. Bark busters. Now I put these bark busters on. These are the Storm version. Quite good. Plastic on the front, but you got this aluminium spine that goes all the way around with a good fixing system with the clamps, and they spin on the bolts here to get the perfect fit. This model does come with its own hand guards, right? But they're only a plastic hand guard and no stiffness around it at all. So if you did hit something or drop the bike, that would just break. By the way, this is the cage that came with the lights with the clamp. So you could imagine that goes around the light. Once that's there, you can see there's not a lot of space to put that in. Anyway, so that's the bark busters. Next one is Oxford heated grips. Brilliant piece of kit. Comes with its own intelligent heat controller, which means that if you do leave it on and you turn the bike off, this will automatically turn off the heated grips. A couple of different models that you can buy. I bought the adventure ones, which you have to cut off a little bit and you cut them to size. You just got to be careful with that too, because you don't want to go cutting into the wiring that's on the inside. So yeah, you just have to measure it and make sure you get it right. I did do a video on putting these on the Blackbird. Some of you may have seen that. Look it up if you're interested in that. That's the other side. Well, they were quite easy to install, and that's also connected to the battery directly via a fuse as well into that intelligent heat controller. Okay, moving on, we've got a double USB charger. So the V Strom comes with a port for like a cigarette lighter port type thing. I've actually put a double USB charger. I'll use that to charge my phone via this USB cable. When I've got my phone on the RAM out there, I can keep it charged. Works quite well. Now I've got another charger here which I carry. This is a SAE connection which connects to the battery charger port that I showed you earlier. I just keep this as an emergency. I thought it was a pretty good sort of unit. It shows you the voltage of the battery as well, which I don't really need because it shows that on the dash of the V Strom, and I carry just an extension lead. So in the event of needing an emergency charging when the bike is off, because when you do turn the bike off on the V Strom, the power to this also turns off, so you can't actually have the bike off and charging from here. So I've, just in case you do need power, you can use the battery to to charge something. And it's also got a double USB port. It's also got this actually slides off, and you can actually connect that to somewhere on the bike or wherever you might want to put this, via screws or cable ties or something. You can see there, you put the cable ties through those holes and then slide this on it, and to have it permanently sitting somewhere on the bike or wherever. So I just carry that as an emergency. I haven't had to use it yet, and I thought that was a good idea anyway.